What do you say and why do you say it? Do you talk to add value to your world? Gossip, criticism, negative talk, pulling people down, bullying has become somewhat normal. Have you noticed? I don't want to be that kind of person. How about you? So how do you handle people that talk negatively about you? How do you handle people that gossip about you? How do you handle people that say nasty things about you? And I love them. That's my headspace. It's a complete opposite to what most people share with me. I love the people that say nasty things about me because now I know who they are. If somebody's pretending to like me, if somebody's pretending to be nice to me, I take people on face value, so I believe them to be nice people. But if I then find out that they've said nasty things, they gossip about me, they criticise me, they pull me down, I really like that because now they've revealed who they are and now I know what I'm dealing with. So first of all, could we be thankful for the people that gossip about us, treat us badly, talk negatively? Because now we know, that's who you are. You're a gossiper, you're a negative talker, you're a bully. Awesome. The next part of that is if people come to you and talk to you about other people, the gossips. And I've got two ways of dealing with that. And one comes from a very wise man from many thousands of years ago. A man came to him and said, I want to tell you something about your friend. And the question was asked, well, there was three very specific questions. Number one, is it the truth? Is what you're about to tell me the truth? And if it's not, why would you tell me? If you don't know that it's the absolute truth, if it's just somebody's opinion or somebody else has told you or you actually don't know it's the truth, why would you say it? So number one, is it the truth? Number two, is it kind? Is it respectful? Is it being nice about the person that you're going to talk about? So what you're about to tell me about another person, is it true? Is it kind? And the third one is it going to add value to my life, to your life, to that person's life? And if you ask those three questions before you speak or as somebody comes to you and wants to gossip to you, would it be nice to say, thank you that you want to share something with me, but three quick questions. Do you know that it's the truth? Is it kind and respectful? And will it add value to my life? So if somebody's going to gossip to you about one of your friends, for example, do they know that that gossip is true or is it just gossip? Is it going to be kind and respectful to me because you're going to be talking about my friend? Will you come across as a kind, respectful person? You're talking nasty about someone else. And will it add value to my life if you say something nasty about my friend to me? Will it add value to your life to be sharing nasty stuff about other people, or could it ruin your reputation? And particularly if it's not true, what could it do to the person that you're talking about? Really cool things. What would the world be like if before we open our mouth to say something, we would ask those questions? Is it the truth? Is it kind and respectful? And will it add value? The next part of that, which is a little bit cheeky on my part, and I haven't used it for a very long time, but it certainly added value to my life when I was in the public eye for a long time with a little bit of fame and fortune. I was on the BRW Young Rich list in Australia, one of the richest people in Australia under the age of 40, and I share that with you. Not to brag, that's just to share with you that I was told all of my life that you couldn't be successful in the exercise profession. It wasn't a real job. You couldn't be wealthy. And me sharing that with you just shares that what people said to me wasn't true, which is one of the reasons why I find it really fascinating when people come to you and talk. When they say to you, you can't do that, is it true? Probably not, especially for me when they said you can't do it. And I've had now hundreds and thousands of people in my life with the same experience where they were told they couldn't. You can't do that. It wasn't true. That's not kind and respectful to tell somebody that they can't do something. And will it add value to their life if you tell them that they can't do that? Of course, the answer is no. But anyway, I'm sharing that with you because with a little bit of fame and fortune comes a lot of criticism. As soon as you do something of value, as soon as you add value to your world, or as soon as you stand out from the crowd, then people will criticize you, they will pull you down. And a lot of people seemed almost proud to come to me and say, Rowie, did you hear what such and such said about you? And when you open a sentence like that with me, like I said, I haven't done it for a long time, but this is what I used to do. I used to put both hands up and I'd say, stop. are you going to gossip to me? Because if you gossip to me, that means you'd gossip about me. What does that make you? Now, it's a confrontational thing to say, but for a little time in my life there, it was really important for me to share with people that I don't want to gossip and I don't want gossips in my life, because that particular statement stops both of those. If you say to somebody, stop, are you going to gossip to me? Because if you gossip to me, that means you would gossip about me. That makes you a gossip. Can I promise you that they're very unlikely to ever come to you again and gossip? It's embarrassing, awkward and uncomfortable for them, not for me. I share that I haven't done that for a while because I've got the reputation now that you don't gossip to Rowie. You don't talk to Rowie about stuff that isn't true, that isn't kind and respectful, and it doesn't add value, because she will ask you now those 3 questions. Is what you're about to share with me, is it true? Is it kind and respectful? And will it add value to my life and or your life and the person you're talking about? Why is this so important? We live in a world now where we have children committing suicide because of the nasty things that are said about them on social media. We have protests and angry people and people getting beaten up, and we have sad people and depressed people and anxious people because of the words that people say about them, particularly on social media. And what's really fascinating about the social media challenge is that somebody that's not even prepared to come to your face, which is the other reason why I don't have to use those questions very often anymore, because no one has the courage to come to my face and gossip to me or say nasty things about me, and they probably won't come to you either, will they? If you've got something nasty to say about somebody, at least go to their face so they've got a chance to defend themselves. If you've got something nasty to say about a business or a company or a person, at least go to their face. It's one of the interesting things about social media that I learnt. This was a really interesting experience, and I share it often because it was so interesting and so relevant to the world we live in right now. I used to travel a real lot, like around the world multiple times every year. I've been a professional speaker as a career path. And everywhere I go, I leave positive comments. Hotels, planes, restaurants, cafes. It doesn't matter. I just like to leave positivity wherever I go. It's called Leave a Profit. I like to leave every place a nicer place because I was there. So I would go to TripAdvisor or Google reviews or any of the places on social media where I would actually ask the company, where's the best place for me to tell the world that you're awesome? And some people would say, please go to TripAdvisor or please go to Google, etc. Anyway, I've had two conversations now, one with TripAdvisor and one with Google, about my reviews. People complained about me because all of my reviews, because I travelled so much, there's literally thousands of reviews, because I travel so much and have reviewed so many places, people say it must not be true. She must be telling lies. Who she is can't be the right or a real person or the right person, because she never says anything negative. Everything she says is positive. So the interesting one in particular from TripAdvisor was, we really need to talk to you about, are you a real person? Because everything you say is positive. Now, the reverse of that, I just think that's fascinating. Well, she's too positive. If I have a challenge with a cafe, with a restaurant, with a hotel, with an airline, why would I put that on social media? Why would I tell people who can't do anything to sort the situation that there's a challenge there? It's like going to the mechanic and saying I've got a sore foot, or going to the doctor and saying I've got a flat tire on my car, can you help me? If I go to social media and say negative comments about a business or a person, the people who read that stuff, they can't fix it. All they're going to do is become consumers of my gossip. And I don't want to be the person that delivers negative stuff to the world. So there's those 3 questions again. If I'm going to put something on social media, if I'm going to say anything to anybody, is it true? Is it kind and respectful? And will it add value? And that means every review that you ever do anywhere would be nice. It would be positive. Fancy that. If I've got a challenge with somebody, I go directly to their face. So if something happened to me at a hotel that was inappropriate, I would go to the manager of the hotel. If something happens to me on an airline, I talk to the airline, not social media, which is people that just enjoy gossip and negativity and nastiness. And the reason I can say that without any hesitation is there has been many times in just recent history where people have tried to produce a positive radio station, a positive television station, a positive newscast, where the predominant number of stories are positive. And of course they went broke or they didn't get off the ground. If you listen to the news, and I don't, so I'm talking now from a very long time, I don't know what's being shared with you on the news every day or on the radio or the regular, 6 o'clock news or the regular hourly news, because I don't listen to it anymore. But people do share with me what they've heard on the news. And have you noticed that it's predominantly negative? Wars, inflation, high interest rates, diseases, sicknesses, deaths, car accidents, murders, everything that doesn't add value to my life to hear is what the news delivers on a regular basis. Now, the reason they have to do that in their defense is if they deliver happy stuff, nobody listens. Nobody's interested in the happy stuff. People are only interested in the negative stuff. If there's a war, if there's been a terrible event happen, the news explodes because people want to know what happened. Why do we want to know that? If it's not something that we can do anything about, why do we want to know about it? So I live in this happy little bubble of, if you're going to talk to me or if I'm going to talk, it's going to be, is it true? Do I absolutely know that it's true? Absolutely positively know that it's true. And just because it's on the news doesn't mean that it's true, of course. Is it respectful and kind? And will it add value to the world? And if I say no to all three of those or any of those, I'm not going to say it and I don't want to listen to it. So now there's a personal question. What do you want to do? You can do whatever you want, of course, and the world can do whatever it wants to do, and people can listen to gossip and negative news stories and listen to wars. And I just, as an interesting side note, if you open up any of your social media and go to search or home, you'll find out what people are most watching and most listening to and most want to know about. And it's really interesting that the top news stories are always negative. I can't remember the last time I looked at a social media feed where the top news story was positive. It's always negative. And I'm sharing that with you positively because we've got this great choice. We don't have to open the story. We don't even have to open social media if we don't want to. Sometimes I read the headline and I go, well, that's not going to be a positive story, is it? So I don't open it. In fact, I'll go a step further. I just don't open it. Because what value will it add to my life? And I'm a human, so sometimes I go, I wonder what that's about, because that sounds interesting. I wonder what that's about. And then I ask those three questions. Is it true, or is it just somebody's opinion? Is it kind and respectful? And will it add value to my life if I read it? And the reason that's so important to me is, like you, the thing that we have in common is we have 24 hours in our day, 168 hours in our week. We have 365 days in a year and we don't know how many years we're going to get. And I don't want to waste any 1 second of my time on stuff that isn't true, on stuff that isn't kind and respectful, and on stuff that isn't going to add value to my life. Why would I do that? Because I can't, every minute that I waste on something that's not going to add value to my life, I could be investing a minute into something that will add value to my life. So those 4 areas, the reason I'm here every single day is what I'm doing right now, helping me to be healthier, fitter and stronger. Is it helping me to have a career or business that I love or making me better at my career or business? Is it helping me to be financially free? And is it helping me to have great relationships? And if the answer is no, then I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want it in my life. And that last one's really interesting because some people do share with me, but I'm really popular because I've always got the latest gossip. Well, I'm going to hit that one pretty hard because as an exercise professional, as a person who's been a personal exercise coach and somebody that trains people to be top-level exercise professionals, I always ask this question. If you're prepared to gossip to me, doesn't that mean you're prepared to gossip about me, which makes you a gossip? So even if you think you're really popular because you have the latest gossip, in the back of the person's head that's listening to you or in the forefront of their mind, they will be very aware that if you're gossiping to them about somebody else, that may mean or definitely means that you'll be gossiping about them behind their back, which of course makes you a gossip. And I don't want that reputation. I'm sure that you don't want that reputation because how can you live your life to the max if you're saying stuff that isn't true, if you're saying stuff that isn't kind and respectful, and if you're saying some stuff that doesn't add value to people's life? How can you add massive value to your own life, how can you live your life to the max if you're doing that? So there's a beautiful song by Tim McGraw. He's a country singer, and it's called Humble and Kind. And what a beautiful way to live. I listen to that song every time, and I wish that the world would be more humble and more kind. So humble, it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do or how awesome you think you are, wouldn't it be nice to just treat everybody beautifully and be humble? And wouldn't it be nice to be kind? Let's be humble and kind. And as we open our mouth to speak, how about these 3 questions? Is this the truth, the absolute truth? And I know that it's the truth. Am I being respectful and kind? And is this going to add value to my world? And if not, could it be a really good idea to zip it? Say nothing.